All right. Hello, hello. All right. Good evening. How is everyone doing? This is Who's Galaxy. Most of y'all probably fucking hate me or love me, but y'all all know me. That's all I care about, bro. Anyways, second take. The first one I messed up pretty badly, so we're gonna, shit. Hold on. Go back with this. Um, is this even the game I want? Yeah, it is. All right. What's up? What's up? It's Who's Galaxy. A few of you guys requested a little game review slash defense kind of like video, so I decided I'd go ahead and pick a game. And I already know what some of y'all are gonna say. Galaxy. Well, nobody even asked for that, bro. Shut up. Okay. Kill yourself. Um, Nobody's talking to you. You're ugly, short, ugly, and stubby, and skinny, and fat. So don't talk to me. Okay. Anyway,
Double overtime, pasta getting it
God
done.
damn, you so loud.
An
Turn
absolute
that shit down.
stunning goal from Gab in that second overtime goal.
Cannot listen to
And
that,
you
bro.
know, basketball
Anyways,
I stayed up very late that night.
reviewing one of the games that we played. It was, I believe it was the second game that we played. It was,
A lot of this game. So the game
T-Birds
started
versus.
with
Hold
your
on, I'll let it run for a little bit.
double over.
Kind of get a little bit of back room and stuff like that. But T-Birds were actually a team that I think that were a
Referee
little bit
says
more on the
no.
difficult side in
Double
terms of like
fighting
all the
again.
teams that we faced. Just simply because Roberino was kind of a pain in the ass to play against. Um, they didn't really give us much leg room to work with, to be honest. So it was kind of hard to get by sometimes, but mostly this team was really just a sweep. Like this was not anything that we really had to worry about. Um, I'm going to be going over every single goal and analyzing like what people could have done differently. Um, Kind of give like a little bit of oversight of like what people's mistakes are and shit like that. But I'm not just going to be coming for my team. I'm also going to be coming for T-Birds as well. So nobody's safe. I'm coming for everybody. Pause. So even mistakes that I made during the game, obviously I'm not going to be a petty fuck and like not look at myself. That's just like hella glazing. I'm not doing that. Um, However, there was plenty of mistakes in this game. That's why I picked it because it was one of those like first games of the playoffs, and we kind of had like a lot of players that were like kind of like new to the game and the aspect of like tier one. Uh, we had like a bunch of people that kind of were. It was like their first time coming in, first time ever playing really. So for us to do as well as we did, even with this in mind, I'm kind of happy honestly. Like it wasn't that terrible. A few mistakes were made, obviously. I'm gonna reiterate that, but shit happens, right? Like, you know, shit fucking happens. And obviously, there's different strategies and stuff that people have overused and used in the past that I'm probably gonna be criticizing as well. Um, I see a lot of people say like, "Oh, well, Grab does this," like, Grab does that, and I was like, okay, let's uh, let's hop off his meat, please, okay? Just because it works for one person or works for another person doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement, right? So let's relax off of his cock. Grab is a great player, but meat riding is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and there was a few like issues with the first game that we played that which we ended up losing the T-Birds. I think we had some like joining connection issues or some BS like that. I don't fucking know. Ezrax's computer was like turning into a rocket ship or some shit. I don't give a fuck less. But anyways, as I proceed, it was a nice little first game, but this one it had a bunch of stuff for me to review, and I'm probably just going to go over every single kind of little play and reiterate everything and kind of point out all the obvious BS and shit like that. But uh, to start off, I'm pretty sure I play first line here, and I basically started in all of face-offs, like all the face-offs in the series and stuff, until I got suspended. I'm pretty sure I started most of them. But the play that we kind of ran was it was kind of like a 1-1-2 system with 4 players on offense, and basically all we did was basically we swapped for certain players at the beginning of the night. So we choose obviously like who's going where, and so it was like this game I'm pretty sure it was like Caleb for Sod and then me for Alex. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Um, but to start off here, you can kind of already see what happens within this like first minute puck drop. You kind of see already us like yearning for that, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm just like grabbing for it. Um, like I'm like deprived of like breast milk or something. Like I'm going for it immediately. Like that's just the play, right? Kind of going behind each other and supporting each other, and that's kind of what I went into this game with the notion that I kind of just want to support all my players. Like obviously I can score a few goals here and there and stuff, but there was just strategies that we just decided to abuse. And my biggest thing was like I'm not, like I said, I'm not terrible, but uh, for me my main goal was just to support those players, score when I can, but be that like offensive defensive player, and that's basically what my whole role was. Here it wasn't that bad of a play, but that kind of also like shows a little bit kind of already like what I'm talking about. I didn't really explain it, but uh, this is the problem with doing some of this stuff of kind of rushing certain parts where, right, like if I'm not playing 1-1-2 and I'm playing 2-on-2 and I'm just rushing the puck here, this like if Itano had any more speed, he technically would have had like a mini breakaway here. And so obviously like I had enough speed to kind of catch up with him, but if we had played that any worse, he would have kind of had like a free shot there essentially, right? So here you can kind of see it. This is perfect. Like this is just a beautiful example, just off the bat, of I'm standing right here supporting him. I trust Caleb with the action. Once we beat that little puck drop here, I drop back, support it because you don't want him clearing this puck off this, hitting off of the boards right here, and then just getting a pass up to Getz. Getz kind of made a mistake here, not gonna lie, just like pushing this up and started clamping this whole BS. Obviously, if you can't contain a player, maybe that's the better play. But as soon as you start doing that, you start giving up offensive opportunities. But here, I just pick up on the signs, right? Like I'm just using logic. I'm looking at game signs. I'm looking at what's happening, and I'm going for him. So I see the puck it. I start attacking a little bit. I think I fight it off here a little bit, but eventually gets cleared down. Vic, I think, gets a nice little clear. And that's kind of like what we did all game was just like abuse the fact that we can just like dump down the puck, and if we have enough speed, and especially since we know what we're doing, we know like the play, we're gonna have like that leverage of like a second or two of okay, we're gonna dump it down here, and then we're also gonna like pass it. Um, Here Rob just fucking saving everything. It's one of those like he's one of those players where like you play against him and you're hoping that like his router fries up or some shit or like he like explodes. I'm so pissed I missed that, bro. I don't know how I missed that. To this day, I'm still mauling over it, bro. Pick it up here. Caleb is kind of looking out here. I think we make a little mistake here with Caleb having his slap shot up, just cause, and so we kind of make like a few mistakes here. Uh, Again, it's playoffs. A few of these players haven't even seen playoffs in Tier 1 or even seen Tier 1 ice before this season. So I can't say I really blame them for being like nervous or like making an incorrect play here or there. But even so, like we can kind of see the pressure that we're kind of putting on these players. Um, and obviously that comes kind of like experience and stuff. But even here, like Camo making the defensive play here. But one thing I will point out is playing for like ego and stuff is obviously like the worst thing to do ever. Because like why would I ever care about points when my main goal is to like win? We're in playoffs. I'm gonna give up my points and I'm gonna give up my shift if that means I'm protecting the puck from going inside my net. Like as a defender, that should be my main goal. Is I'm limiting the amount of shots that go in every single time. So you can kind of see already, Sod is back here helping us out. Alex Nick Jr. is already helping us out here. Just because defense, especially as defenders, you're not gonna have speed. So even the worst of the worst players, majority of the time, even if they're on offense but they just have speed, they're going to walk around you, right? So let's drop the high horse here and just help out our defenders. Um, Here, Alex makes like a slight hiccup. I mean, Pasta's not really good enough to get around that anyway, but he kind of made a slight hiccup. That's a free shot though, and realistically, most even of the worst players, they're gonna get a like they could get a lucky shot and just fucking score. Like it can just happen. Like the gameplay is so picky and so randomized, so just stopping people from making shots. That's all I care about. Like I don't really care about anything else when I'm playing defense, right? Um, Here this is kind of what our strat was like all game was like Rob Reno is just such a dickhead. Like the best play here was just get the puck in front of the net and then abuse as many slap shot opportunities as we can. Obviously, like I think there was a few good, like just great shots that we got it in, but still, like it was just such a fucking pain to score against this guy, dude. Nice little pass here down. T-Bird's kind of clamped up. That's kind of all they really relied on was just if we get enough bodies on people that we'd stop it. I mean, that's just absolutely brainless behavior, but I mean, whatever works for you, right? Whatever floats your penis. Um, Nice little dump here. I think Vic gets a little pass up to the bench side. Go for a little swap here. Sod, I think, picks it up here and just shoots it fucking top corner. I'm pretty sure there's like a little wrap around here where he just picks it up and just shoots that shit. Yeah, here. All right. Biggest problem. So most plays really start like the biggest problems that start within plays actually start a lot further in the video than you would think. Like him being here, low key isn't bad. Honestly, it's not the best, it's not the worst, right? You know what I mean? It's like plain potato chips. I'm not gonna buy them if I see them at the store, but if they're at a party, I'm gonna get them, right? Like it's not terrible. Realistically, I wouldn't blame him. If I'm the coach and I'm looking at this from a different perspective, I'm not blaming him for this goal here. Here, I kind of want to argue that this is like absolutely brain rot behavior from defense here. What are you teeing at? Like this is just I'm watching and I'm cringing. Like what the fuck is this? These guys should be moving already. Like this allowing Sod, especially since he has speed, to just kind of come down here with high speed and pick this up. Like there's no shot you guys are getting that. And why do you have slap shot up? And you don't even get it off. So you know what I mean? That's not even the worst part here. This isn't really a bad play. You're kind of standing around here doing nothing. You got beat, but that's really not your fault, I guess. Letting that free shot off go off. But then the place there where it gets kind of messy is you being beat here obviously isn't that bad, and these two just standing around here doing nothing is kind of terrible. So the biggest like breakaway that I'm going to take from this is if he's coming around with like this little like carry motion, especially when you see someone's stick is clicked, you can just fucking tell they're just going for a little like a wrap kind of like gather play, right? So why are we not rushing this? Like what is the point of you standing here allowing him to just get a free hash mark shot? Like on no planet am I ever blaming Rob here ever, by the way. Like that's just not the play, right? Like I'm never blaming him for that shot. That's just a fucking absolute ripper. But just standing around there moping, twiddling your fucking little thumbs on your 5'8" little fucking body frame, like come on. Let's fucking move our bodies, all right? Press the buttons on our keyboard for fuck's sake. Other than that, realistically, would I be mad if someone scored on me like that? Maybe. Not really. It's Sod. Sod made a nice little gather play. I can't really blame him. Obviously, there's huge mistakes there. Like if defense realistically is there in time, they get that out of there. 100%. Like they get that out of there every single time. It just that's just how it is. Um, a little drop off here. Pass it up to Caleb. Um, Nice little shot here, honestly, from the beginning. That was pretty good. And you can see it, like, as soon as I see that shot kind of go off, I just rush it towards them because they struggle to pick up and dump so much that our strat was literally just like here that's just a nice shot. Obviously that's on net, so that's a really good shot. But when you have no speed like this and you're just allowing for me to abuse that, um, him here isn't bad necessarily. Going for the hit is absolutely tier two. Like this is tier two. Like, are we in tier two? This is tier two. I like watching this just makes me cringe. Uh, Especially for a Tano here too. I don't understand what you're doing over here. Like I also don't understand what Getzel is doing over here either. Like finally Tano gained enough fucking brain cells to come help. I don't know what took him so long to finally get up off the ground over here to rotate, but realistically, this play never happens. Getzel just standing off to the side. These players just wasted full on potential to come help the defensive play. There's only one player, which was whoever this is, that came to actually come block for the play. And slap shots, the thing about them is they're just so difficult to stop for goaltenders. I can't even say I blame Rob Reno in that aspect either, just because of how difficult it is to save at full speed and full like power. It's extremely difficult. Um, Kind of dump it down here. I know Caleb is kind of going to be on the side here, so I trust him to kind of pick it up. And that's the thing about the T-Birds, and that's why we like shit on them so badly, was just simply because of how terrible they were at clearing. Um, like they gave us numerous scoring chances throughout the entire series, and they were just kind of free ones with like no regard whatsoever. So like this little like middle ground here where the puck is just flying instead of the defensive area, like the middle ground, like middle ice. It's just such a bad area. Like it's just so terrible. Um, I managed to still kind of pick this up. I think I fight here for a little bit. I think I ended up losing. Oh no, I get a shot off here actually. That was a pretty good shot. Rob Reno just fucking saving everything. Caleb trying to. I think me and him just try to keep it in front here, just get a nice little slap. But here, yeah, that's see, like there's a little bit of a mistake with like the 2-on-2 because sometimes we switch between 1-2, sorry, 1-1-2 and then 2-on-2. Is once we both have like slap shot up here, it's kind of like make or break of whether or not we hit it. But the thing is, once he has slap shot here and he releases that, you lose speed, right? So if this guy was like any better of a player, like this is a 2-on-2 situation, right? Like that's just terrible. So thank God Camo kind of made the smart play, saw that he barely didn't have much speed and it just attacked him. Like that's the better play, right? Like that's I'm going for that every single time. Um, and we dump it down here for a line switch. Yeah, so Sod and Alex come up. Sod going for the obvious play here, going in front. Uh, Alex being in that position isn't terrible. He doesn't know. I don't believe at the time that he knew about like the whole system that we were running all too well. But it was. I mean, he still played the game pretty well. He had a few shots off and stuff. Here we kind of played a little bit slower, but I think we still ended up getting it off. The best thing to do there, honestly, on defense is literally just to play it slow when you're picking up those pucks. Because once you start getting nervous and just trying to clear it down as fast as possible, that's where mistakes are made. And here, obviously, like this is another great example of like what Sod is doing amazingly. Is if one of us is on offense, I'm treating you exactly like anybody else. So I'm going to respect the fact that you have the puck, and I'm going to respect the fact that you're in a battle, and I'm just going to support you the entire time. And this is how we did it every single time. So we ignored ego plays. We didn't play for points. We're not playing for that. We're playing to win. So the best way to do that is play offensive defense. Like I said, when you're standing here behind it, you make it very difficult and give almost little to no space for him. Even if he beats Alex, where does he have to go? Assad has full speed. He's gaining it up here. He's supporting him. So even if Alex were to lose there, he still has support from Sod, who has full speed and full stam. Because we would also switch. We would never see yellow. Like you're never gonna see us seeing yellow ever. You would get yelled at easily for having like yellow stam. Like it just doesn't make sense to do that, right? Like that's just not the play. Um, Here Sod kind of respecting the battle here. Uh, Fighting forward. Alex still kind of like sitting in this little area, supporting him through. I don't think he gets a shot off here though. Um, that's pretty decent defense from T-Birds. And there, see, like if Alex had put like a slap shot there, that probably would have been pretty bad. Sod kind of made a mistake here a little bit by like line switching, but luckily Pasta is just absolutely buns, so like he just shoots it. I mean the thing is, like realistically, even the worst players could get a nice shot off. That's that. At the end of the day, the gameplay is so picky. Like I said, like even the worst players on this planet could just get a nice little RNG shot and just score. It can happen. So that's the goal of defense here is just to block every single chance that happens. Um, Here, obviously, I'm just dumping that down there towards the side. There's no point in letting that happen. Caleb actually beats him here. And that's what I'm talking about here, right? Like, it's the allowing for these kind of opportunities to happen is exactly how you let in so many goals. Pasta kind of pushing it up here. We just go in front. Caleb gets a nice little shot here, blocked. Um, and boom, we just fight it back up here again. So he trusts me with it. He goes to center, to middle. I try to get a pass off here. It just doesn't really work out, but regardless, it's like the principle of it, right? Like I'm setting him up for the next play. Um, he doesn't really get a shot here. I think he just saves it here. Yeah, Rob just fucking picking it up with his big glove. Not much we can do against dirty cheaters, but like I said, this guy was literally our only threat all game. Pissed me off so much. It pissed me off so much that we were getting so many nice shots off, different angles. I mean, look at the shots on goal, for fuck's sake. 10-0? Good God. So we were absolutely like bending them down, putting their panties to the side, and just going to town the entire game. I think it's Sod and Alex here. It should be. I don't think anything else happens in the rest of this period. I want to say. Sod tries to go for something here. He might get a little bit denied there. And no, Sod actually just gets a wraparound here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Biggest problem with this play is nice little block there. That's not bad. Okay. There are like two, three big things. And also, I'm never blaming Rob in this situation ever. By the way, like that's just not his fault. Why are you all the way over here? You're standing. What use are you right now? Are you hoping for a clear down from Sod? And Getzel is fighting Sod. Sod is what like every single player on our offense except probably me is one of the best scorers in the league. So if you're not double teaming him or just standing right here and making it harder for Sod to get off a shot or get off an angle, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Um, if you're imagine if he was just even standing here or just hovering around here, how much more difficult and how much less space Sod would have to move. So, like I said, honestly, Getzel getting beat here, that's really not a problem because, like I said before, like if you get beat, you get beat. It happens. But the biggest problem is when you don't have support with that. And honestly, I don't know what you're doing here because, but at the same time, you're still kind of in a decent position because it's kind of an ugly angle for Sod here because he can't really go around here and just score, right? Like that's disgusting. Like if he did that, like that's insane. Um, I can judge you, however, on how late you decided to rush him. I don't know what you're teeing here. The ice doesn't have the puck, right? So let's start thinking logically. And I also don't know what Peter is doing here. I've never seen a player react so late to a play. And my first thought process when I was watching this tape was, I'm assuming he's guarding Alex, but the problem with that is the probability of Alex ever getting that slap shot there is so low, it's not worth guarding here. Um, and even then, as soon as you start seeing that, you should already be moving towards this angle here and just cutting him off from getting that like wraparound here. That is absolutely your fault. Um, we've got to pay attention more during games because allowing for a player literally just to walk back here with no repercussions is embarrassing. It's just fucking embarrassing. You reacted so late. I don't even know how you managed to do that. Um, because if we're just watching the tape here, like I said, you being out all the way over here, whatever. Getzel getting beat here, it's kind of whatever. But you rushing this angle, like if I see if I see Sod already coming up towards you, I'm just rushing this right here. I'm just cutting off that little like line of entry and ownership. Because like I said, entry and ownership works in you kind of go ahead like maybe zero point 0.2 seconds ahead of where they're gonna be. This is not zero point 0.2 seconds. You're just trash. But the late reaction here from Peter is astounding. I mean, it is like that's crazy. That's the biggest problem there is just kind of like not playing logically. We're not paying attention to the game. Obviously, no game awareness whatsoever. Absolutely horrendous defense. Like that is 100% on the defensive fault. Allowing one player to just walk your whole team like that with no repercussions, you're cooked. That's embarrassing. Um, Obviously, like there's leeway there because Saad is a good player, but at the end of the day, when you're not playing good enough defense to begin with, I can't even say I can like. Oh, I think they challenged for throw here, but I'm gonna skip that because that's. Oh wait, hold on. I don't think that. I think that ends up being a good goal. So, um, but yeah, like there's just certain spots where you have to be in. You got to be paying attention, where to cut off, what angles to kind of sit at. Um, that's just it's just not the play there. That's not. Um, Saad kind of playing it safe here. Gessel doesn't really have much room, but we cleared down pretty well. Uh, this play here is actually pretty decent as well. But even here, right? Okay, even here, let's say that were to go in. I'm actually I'm actually gonna have to scroll back so much further to show you how much like even just offensive positioning matters for that goal right there. Like if let's say he would have scored, right? So Getzel clearing it down here necessarily isn't terrible, but to follow up with this is brain rot. Like this, oh my god, this is so brain rot. So okay, there's three things wrong with this play. You being here, whatever. Still brain rot as fuck. You have no speed whatsoever. These two are way ahead of you. So once that puck gets clear, which is way faster than you are, once it gets, these guys are gonna have way more speed and way more leverage than you do. You as well. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Standing in front of there, just hoping to get it off. Maybe you get it off, but the puck is way too much high speed off that first clear that you're ever gonna get that entry. That's not the play. And also, I don't know what Peter Zod is doing, and I'm gonna say that a lot during this game because what the fuck is he doing? But when you're standing, why are you coming out this far? When a puck is moving this quickly, especially in game, and there's a lot of like FPS lag and like entry lag and like latency lag, coming out this far, especially as a defender, you just left your defender all by yourself. You just left your teammate all by yourself to do nothing. And look, this is the only smart player here, except for when he goes out to come pressure him. What is one thing that Saad has in this situation that he doesn't have? Other than brains, speed. So he's just going to walk around you, which he does, and just gets a free shot off. If this play would have been a goal, that would have been every single one of their faults. And you could not blame Roberino there on any planet. And you've got to stop with the hitting. Unless you're like Robbie, and you can just hit every play, it's not fucking viable. Use your T buttons, use the buttons on your goddamn keyboard, and use your brain of where they're going to be. Learn how to play the game. Um, Again, a little dump down. They don't get that clear off. They don't foresee where the puck is going to be. So Alex gets like kind of some nice leverage here. I think it's a shot off here, but oh no, it just misses the net slightly there. Um, Here, I think they miss. Oh no, Saad kind of blocked it off. That could have been dangerous right there, just allowing for that to happen. But see, Saad coming back and helping his teammate, that's just bigger than anything. Especially since offensive players they have speed more than anything. And in this game, honestly, speed pretty much matters more than anything else. Even latency, I would argue, if you know how the game works and you know how to like actually get ahead, speed way matters just way more. Um, Nice little recovery from here from Caleb. And here, there's no reason at all that Caleb should ever be scoring here. This is absolutely horrendous. Um, there's honestly not even a reason for me to be able to get this shot off. Nobody blocking. This is not season 8, guys. Like this is not season 8. Getting this off, you getting beat here, Pasta, is it's crazy. Like you just walk into a wall. What am I watching? This is the top player in your team? I don't even see any defense. He just goes in a straight line and walks into a wall. You can't be serious. Like we're playing like this is tier one. I had to scratch my eyes. Um, and Caleb just grabbed this up here. All T's, like just like all T's, beautiful. I love to see it. The T's, use that shit. It's broken. If it's in the game, I'm gonna fucking use it, right? So fuck off, jerk offs. But I can't believe that we can't aim our T button on a fucking person's stick. Obviously, you can kind of argue there that like Robberino, I don't know why he's in this like long, like this guy is not shooting from there. I don't know why he has his stick down for so long. I don't know like if he's like pissing while playing and so he can't press buttons there. I don't know what the play there is, but the main thing here is just the defense, right? This is good positioning. I like this from Peter. It's a nice change. But if you see him going into this motion, where do you think he's going to go next when he's doing this carry motion? Like this. So where should you go? Here. And just block him. I can't believe we're in tier 1 and we don't know how entry and ownership works. Go ahead of the player and use your buttons. And why are we hitting? Like, what is that? So, I don't know. A lot of huge mistakes here from T-Birds. And honestly, a lot of them are so, like, crucial. And they're just going to say, oh, Armada, you're sweaty. Armada, you're sweaty. You guys are on the game 24/7. Maybe you're just a fucking idiot and you don't know how to play the game. All I do is just press T and I get the puck off you, dumbass. Um, but here I rotate back immediately. I can already see Caleb kind of going against two players, especially since Atano is kind of he's a pretty decent player on defense. So I trust Caleb to kind of bring it up the ice here. I want to say we go for like a little slap shot play, but the period ends pretty early. But you can kind of already see the theme going into this. It's a lot of like positioning wise, because all this game really is just we're using our heads, right? If we're using our logic correctly, this game is no different than like if I'm coaching like a real team. Support your players, make sure that you're in good positions, and play defense correctly, even if you're on offense. Like there's no reason to give up free pucks and free shots and stuff. Um, Here I can kind of show I was just like absolutely dogging fucking like plasma, what are not plasma, fucking pasta the entire game. Like just clearing it down up here. This was kind of a scary situation, but we kind of recovered there nicely from Vic from a little slap shot there. That was pretty nice. Here I kind of pick it up. There was a little bit of a miscommunication, but I ended up kind of taking it up here, or trying to at least. Um, if I had a little bit more like leverage there, probably could have made something happen. But here you can kind of see like I'm ready. I have my speed ready. I'm right behind him, supporting him. I'm not letting anything bad happen. They get a nice little dump off there, but it's just really not enough to do anything. Um, and our defense is playing slow, right? Like we're not going to rush things. We don't when we don't need to. Caleb gets it off of him. I think he dumps it down for your first shot. And you can kind of see also like where we're positioning ourselves, even if we're missing shots. Like if I know that he's shooting, even if like I'm standing, I think like right here. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Most of their offense here is just moping around in defense. But even if I know he's missing and I can see that just from the shot immediately, like I can already tell. Like this is a tough angle. Like even God is not fucking shooting from here and hitting that, right? You can already see me moving in this direction, at least towards the net in case, but also at the simultaneously, you can already see me rotating as soon as I see it goes out. So this, like, you'll see this most of the game where we pick up these like side kind of angles and we just pick up rebounds the entire time. And that allowed us to really easily like just get numerous chances to stay within their zone the entire time and let shots like this happen. Here I fucking whiff. Something got in my eye, so I couldn't hit the puck. Not gonna lie. Um, I think we end up getting a nice little pick here too, but it gets like flung up, yeah. And defense here plays slow, and that's honestly just the best play. Just play it slow, even if you have like somebody's rushing you. If you can like really just get that nicely, it shouldn't really be a problem. That's actually a decent play there, to be honest too, because even if we're relieving like temporary pressure, that's basically all you want from your defenders. Like that's all you can really ask for, anyways. Here Alex kind of made like a kind of misplay by just assuming that ownership would kind of give it to him, and they just score this like absolutely brain rot goal. Ezra was kind of way too far on the left side of the net, but at the same time, like I said, Suduka getting beat here, that's not really a problem. Realistically, that's not a bad thing. But Alex assuming that he can just like one tap that off and automatically gain entry when there's two people using T, that's a problem. Here from Camo, that was the correct play here to rush Pasta. It was kind of a late reaction, I would say, but that's kind of like it's kind of a sudden thing. It happened all at once. But other than that, it was kind of just a misplay there from Alex, kind of like overcompensating there a little bit. Um, and like I said, like here, like this is perfect example of like kind of how our defense is working here. Like a lot of people say like, "Oh Armada, your defense isn't even good." Watch the tapes, bro. Watch the tapes. Stop glazing those Vardos, bro. Holy shit. We have one of our offensive players camo here, and we're already in position while they have two people here. And boom, this is the problem with running this stupid 2-on-2 shit. He just dusted two players easily, and they're out of commission, and he has a play now. Obviously, does he finish it? No, but he gets it in front of the net here with enough leverage to get at least like a slap shot off or make something happen at the very least. Um, Here he kind of just walks absolutely everyone, sets up Alex here for a slap shot. That's a good play. Overall, that's a good play. It's just Alex kind of whiffed there. It happens. I mean, here I don't know why we're having our slap shut up. Kind of trolled there a little bit. Like I said, people were really nervous. We had a bunch of people kind of like expressing that before the game. Um, but even here, like we can kind of see this nice like defensive trope here, where we're standing in front, we're going ahead where he's going to be. He only really has one option, especially when we're watching it. And so Saad picks it up nicely, walking through everybody like usual. Um, and like I said, like look at this, how much that adds in terms of leverage and what I mean by that is like you're cutting off space and circulation for their team to do anything else. Because as soon as you start standing there and start like cutting off angles, it just makes it so much more difficult for them to do anything. Like what angle is this guy ever gonna fucking shoot from, right? And you can already see like Alex coming to help out here. Saad I think even is like hovering around here to help, and especially since these players have speed, so helping out is going to be the best thing for them to do here, because otherwise their defense is just going to get walked on. Um, Go for a really nice little line switch here. I don't think I'm able to get him in time. Yeah, I kind of like overdid it. Kind of like a fucking yo-yo goal, not gonna lie. I really wanted to get mad at Ezra there. I can't. That really wasn't anybody's fault. You could argue that maybe I didn't go enough in time, but realistically, a shot from behind the blue line here should always be saved. Like I actually don't even really care about defense after that. But unless it's like a drop goal, you know what I mean? Like one of those like fucking floaters, I don't really care. Like there's really no excuse not to save that, to be honest. Um, Puck drop off here, trying to force something best I can. Not much room to work with, but I mean, it's something. But I rotate here to the side and pick it up. I think. Oh yeah, no. So there, that's a mini mistake there, right? Is we didn't calculate there for Rob Marino being able to clear there nicely. I think he's like the only goalie that ever really does that, to be honest. But um, it wasn't too terrible since they didn't really get off anything off of it. But I mean, it's the thought that counts, kind of. And I think I say no, I don't block it there. But I think I do pick it up. No, we just fight here in this angle. And like I said, me and Caleb standing. I think there's just like a slap shot goal here. That's like utter BS. Yeah, like that's just like such a fucking stupid goal. Ezra typing and shit instead of playing the game. Shit happens. I mean, I heard it was like laggy for everybody anyway, so maybe it really wasn't even his fault. But to this day, I still hold a grudge against him. But Camo here making the obvious play. Nice little pass here. That was actually one of those like plays that ended up working out. But what like a thing about that though is that most of the time, even when you're passing to middle ice, like the probability of you ever even really receiving that and effectively scoring, it just it's so low. Most of the time, the puck will like phase through you, or the defensive will just like kind of rush it towards this because it's a pass, because it has to be like a slow pass for you to end up picking it up. It's just not the play. So when you're playing this kind of style, it just kind of reinforces your gameplay. And here, obviously, like Saad supporting Alex. A nice little like, dump around. They kind of make a slight mistake there in judgment, but they have enough speed to kind of compensate for that. But Vic kind of dumps it out here temporarily, which is completely fine too. Um, I'd much rather the defense be able to at least clear something within a timely manner, just at least for offense to come back and rotate, come help out on defense. But here, I don't even think Alex gets it here. So like here, like that's like a rare occasion of getting it. But even then, like there, like the defense just rushes that because they see that he has no speed and he has no leverage there to get anything. Um, and even here, you can kind of see Sod and Alex fighting between coming back and helping each other. That's a tough shot, really. You're not really ever getting that off. Camo rushing here is kind of a bad play. Not gonna lie, like there's that, and I think I screamed at him about this actually. Like Camo here has no speed. Rushing him, who is this? Pasta? Even though Pasta's not the greatest player, he just walks him. And it's not even really walks him, he just walks by him. So thankfully he's able to recover it because Pasta is absolutely horrible. But if he wasn't, if he was a decent player, like you're fucked at that point because he just walks past you and just like easily gets it on you, right? Here there's a little battle. Band can't hire a DJ, I guess, or something. And obviously they're just going for this stupid slap shot play. And so you don't see it here in the video, but me and Caleb just rush it automatically, just walk it. And that's the biggest thing about this game too, is just it's more like logic oriented than people may think because it's just a video game or whatever, but like understanding the even just like the physics and like how the game works and like the like talking to developers, like I did that for a little bit just to kind of better understand it, right? Like it just helps you a little bit more. And not playing so selfishly too. Like when you start kind of playing for your team, look at that pass, like just off the boards there. We get into their zone. Now he's behind. There's a play that we can make in front here. I think he gets a shot off here actually. Nope. But at least there's like a little pickup here in the corner. Oh, also like another example of like what I was saying about the shots missing is I'm hovering around this middle, but I'm gaining speed the entire time, right? And so if I see the shot and I'm obviously just going for a miss, I'm going to be standing here ready to recover it every single time. So even if I don't produce anything from it necessarily, I'm at least denying them chances to score. And no matter how you flip it or whatever, if you're not playing good on defense, sorry, if you're not playing good on offense, the best thing that you can do is at least make up for it on defense. And more often than not, even most like decent players, they can do it. So like here, I just knock it off Atano, carry it up, and this is an offensive play. Obviously, I'm not as good as like Sod and Caleb and all these different players, but being able to just strip the puck away from like top tier players and then just get it down to a play and make something happen, that's actually almost arguably more important than the people that can actually score. Um, Creating space and creating leverage just for your players, that's priceless. Like that's just absolutely priceless, right? So, and obviously denying plays from everybody, that's also just going to be one of the most important plays that you can probably do in BMHL. Or it goes for sports kind of like universally. Is once you kind of give up this like I want to just score and get all points, brain rot fucking 12-year-old mentality, you start to see wins more. And it, you don't may not agree with it or whatever, but you're wrong. Like that, I just don't know how to explain. You're just wrong. Um, Stop playing like a dickhead. Maybe you'll actually win a few cups here and there. Uh, but even see see even the leverage there, which Camo gave it to us. I'm actually honestly, I'm completely okay with that actually happening. Um, just simply for Even now they're just pushed back. So even if it's like a little stoppage there, and then it gives us time to rotate back on offense, it helps us kind of like play a little bit better there. Um, and that's also the biggest thing too. Like their clearing was just atrocious. I mean, good fucking god. I don't know how hard it is to press shift lock, but I guess it's harder for some than others. Um, and our dumping was pretty good this game as well, kind of like making sure that we're getting it to our players instead of just dumping it mindlessly, even though we could and still have got the shot off. But other than that, it was pretty decent. I don't think anything else happens in this period. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut it short. But we see this kind of like overriding theme, right? And this is kind of also another great example too. You see, like if I hadn't rotated back, Pasta would have kind of had like that nice little chance there, and all of us are standing around helping here. And this is actually a great play as well. It's actually one of my favorite clips of this game. Is so automatically we can already see as soon as I see that he kind of uses this click motion, and obviously anytime this happens, more often than not they're gonna go for like a cut play. And Pasta, as soon as I saw him use click, you can see me go here rather than just follow up with him there because he would have just walked me. Because obviously people that actually understand entry, you have to walk ahead of where they're going to be. So we can literally see it. All of us form like a little line because there's no other. Pasta is not good enough to go here, and like go through everybody here. He is not good enough to like cut through. And honestly, nobody is because it's a video game. It restricts your movement, especially BMHL. It restricts your movement a shit ton. So there's not much that you could really do. So all three of us, for like a split second there, we all got into like this linear position, and we're just standing in front of the line of where he's going to be, and that's the most important aspect part. That's the most important part right there. Stump down here. I think I play pretty decent like defensive plays, like just kind of like fighting for the puck here and just stripping it away from them. And I get a few shots off here just simply because I know how to defend pretty well. Um, and just stripping off the puck off of these players and just getting a shot off. So like here you could argue it's basically just like the hustle play, but just getting the shot off here, it gets blocked, but I'm immediately rotate back. You can already see my character going here rather than just like following exactly to where he's going to be. Because he's not going to be there in like a second, right? So there's no point of me rotating back. So I go ahead of where he's going to be, stop him from it, grab it again, get another shot. Obviously, it didn't score, but eventually like one of those kind of like hustle plays are going to pay off. Um, and those are probably the most important plays that you'll ever make in BMHL is consistently like kind of stripping it away from your players, stripping it away from the puck. Those are the plays that you kind of want to see. Um, Kind of Alex also reiterating everything that I was doing there earlier. And the T-Birds make it honestly pretty easy to do so. There wasn't really much, I don't know, challenge, I guess, other than Rob. Um, However, the principle stands, right? And so here, just kind of keeping up the pressure. Etano trying to get it off here, but they're not really getting any solid chances. And we can kind of see this like throughout the entire game, right? The goals that they scored were just kind of like throw in, hopefully they go in. The amount of times that they got like actual decent shots were so close, like is close to zero. I don't even know if they really got any like really real chances to score. All of them were just kind of like hope and pray shots. There was like one maybe that you could count technically as like a decent play that they made where they abused where we made a mistake. Other than that, there was just like shot from fucking slap shot low ground from like forever away. That's not like a calculated play. That's not like a calibrated play. That's not anything. That's just a terrible lucky shot that Ezrag's let in. Obviously, he let it in. It's a goal that counts, but as a team, like you're not gonna ever hope on goals like that ever. You don't ever want that. Um, he had the T-Birds play pretty decent defense. And honestly, I probably would even argue that sometimes it's almost more worth it to kind of use this like everybody get on one person thing because passing in this game is just so like impossible that it's almost not. It's like impossible to even like think that you could do like man for man. Like you stay on one guy, I stay on one guy. It just doesn't make sense because passing is just so difficult. And it's so difficult to make effective too. Like it's possible, like the expressive showed us that it's possible to make it happen and stuff, but it's not easy to make it like effective at the same time, if that makes sense. Here I want to say Alec. I think Caleb gets it stripped away from him for a little bit, and I think it gets dumped down almost, or at least he gets pushed back all the way back here. After this here, yeah, I want to say they get that little slap down. And then Caleb picks it up back in the corner because that was just a really weird bounce there. I don't know really what that was, but he starts getting double teamed. I think about rotating back, but he's so far back and he has a defender that I start just taking a chance at just getting the puck here. Pick it up pretty nicely. I think I just get around the net and just score here. Yeah. So there, for instance, like this is my one of my favorite plays to ever review, just simply because obviously I scored and it was fun. But what's the problem with this whole 2-on-2 bullshit is once you have two of these, like, what are you contributing, right? What are you contributing? Like I said before, the person on the person with the puck, you getting beat is fine. It happens because most of the time you might even like contribute something. Him just standing here does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. And most of the time you're never ever gonna get that puck off of it, off that pass. Here him like attacking me there because I did actually lose the puck there for a second because it was just a weird bounce. I'm actually out of reach. So for him to attack that, that's perfect. But all he did was just try to do like a quick little flick instead of actually using T, or even hitting there could have even been better. Instead of actually just using your buttons. Um, Other than that, that's probably where I'll end it there because I feel like I made my point across pretty decently. I did want to show like one more thing. This kind of relates more to the Tropic series more than anything else, but it was I saw people talking about the way that we play the game and arguing against how we play the game. And it's interesting because, well, they suck. Um, but, oh shit, hold on. When you're having these lines and you're not playing them correctly, and this is exactly what happened during the Tropic series, and that's just why we wiped them so badly. Like they just weren't a problem to us. Was because at least T-Birds they would come back and they would just kind of like, well, no, at least T-Birds had Rob. T-Birds had fucking Roberino. That's what made that shit so difficult to play against. Was just his bitch ass. I hated him. Anyways, the problem with playing this kind of style is this 3-on-1 horseshit heavily relies on the fact that one is ever going to beat five 100% of the time. And this is exactly what happened. There was a play that was similar to this. I think it was like that. And all that ended up happening was Saw just took this puck, beat him, took it down, and it was just a one-on-one opportunity. And during this game, what ends up happening is me and Caleb take the role of just hunkering down on Aussie the entire game. Obviously, that's not fun. But the thing is, when the goal is to win, I don't care about having fun. For me, winning is fun. So even if I don't score, I have to make sure that I'm making the best possible play for the entire team. So if that means solidifying my whole purpose of that game to just guarding one person, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what me and Caleb did. Now, the burden of scoring went onto Suduka. And Suduka, well, firstly, Suduka has no problem doing that whatsoever. I'm sure he loves the spotlight of scoring and stuff. So, but what people don't see is Aussie never scoring that entire series, or scoring like maybe like once or twice. He barely scored at all, and he arguably was probably one of their best player, just simply because of his latency and how hard it is to get the puck off of him. Is he a great player? You could agree to disagree, but the fact of the matter is, it was just so hard to strip the puck off of him that we had to solidify our whole goal to just stopping Aussie. So that's what me and Caleb did, and me and Caleb scored no points. For a few of those games, we just never scored points. So, and we were okay with it because, like I said, in order to win, you gotta drop the ego. You gotta drop the ego. If you don't, you're going to lose games. There's a reason that we fucking wiped the floor with the Tropics and T-Birds and now Sack. You gotta put the ego to the side and play smart. When you're playing this stupid bullshit, playing for fun, you're not gonna win. And for some people, that's fine. But for me personally, there's nothing fun about losing. So when I see you little geeks in the fucking general chat, Galaxy, you take this game too seriously. Your parents are dead. Okay, so I don't want to hear anything from you. All right, you're honestly your opinion does not matter to me whatsoever. Um, Shut the fuck up. So that's kind of what I was arguing is when you have this kind of supporting thing here is that at least if he beats him, there's really no leverage here because we just all start to crowd him. There's not much you can do. One last thing I want to cover is wraparound plays because I did see someone arguing about, or sorry, complaining about how hard difficult it is to kind of control those. So there's like four options that happen within wraparound plays. I'll cover them real quickly. Is there's a chance that he goes like this and then just gets a shot off from that. Hold on, make that a little bit more pretty. There's a chance he kind of gets that, or he just obviously just goes for this wraparound play and shoots, right? So these are the first two options that could happen. But the best thing to do for you really is just kind of stay in this neutral position here, because if he tries to go around and makes a little cut there, that's really the only option he has if he decides to kind of cut towards the center, because you can't really get off like this. You can't really make this like little play off to the side and score effectively, especially since there's probably going to be a second defender here. And that's under the notion that another player is not just like sitting around here and they could come help you. So the best thing really to do is just stand in the standardized position, because it also what it does is it also blocks any like sneaky plays where they just go like this instead, where they just go like that. It blocks that too. Now the biggest thing is once we start to see this linear kind of position where okay, this guy's going to just go for this, or he's going to go for this and shoot from here. There's the other two options, the other two. The thing is, when you're standing over here, the best thing for you to really do is just because he still has to make this linear play. He still has to at least make that, or at least make this. So this kind of like common ground area, you can kind of just cut it off and cut off the like circulation. Obviously, sometimes it's going to be a little bit more difficult, especially if you don't have speed. But if you're using your brain and you're just looking at the play when it's coming up, kind of like the Peter Zod situation with Sod, you want to be playing preemptively. Once you start doing that, you'll start blocking way more shots and stopping way more opportunities, and it'll just be easier overall for you to do. With that, that's probably everything. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's a long video. I can probably do a little defensive guide and go into more detail later on, but other than that, that's going to be it. Kind of covered everything. If there's anything I missed or anything, just let me know. Other than that, stay short and ugly, you fucking bastards. Thanks for tuning in.